I had to start late because of him. I had to start late. Shocking, isn't it, really? Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wednesday night's 40k show. Good to see all of you here. Big shout out to the guys at Titans for dropping their audience in. What a bunch of legends they are. And it's been a stressful few days, people. I was supposed to have 3 days off when I came home from my little lovely jaunt to America. Did I tell you, Liz, I went to America?
Did you?
Yeah, I did. Did I have not told you that?
No. Have I told you I'm going to York?
You have, yeah. I can't wait. It's been a stressful few days. We've just been trying to make improvements for 3 days straight, which is not the easiest thing in the world. But welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. We are back in dreary, grey old Blighty, which is amazing. I'm so happy to be here. We were back in the humble little studio last night playing 40k. Joe was playing the guard, and it got me thinking. One of the reasons why I selected the topic for tonight, so much new guard. So I'm super excited for the new Cadian box set release. I think it looks incredible. The new Commissar looks incredible. Obviously, yesterday we were showcased the new Rough Riders that look okay. I think on the whole they look great, but I think the heads are a bit of a swing and a miss personally. However, on the whole, the model range is very good and very exciting. But it got me thinking, we must be near the end of 9th edition. Like we're probably talking another year, maybe year and a half of 9th before we suddenly see the launch of 10th edition. We're quite near the end of 9th edition, and the poor Imperial Guard players out there, the poor Astra Militarum players, still don't have themselves a Codex, which is not the greatest. And Joe played last night against the Chaos Knights. The video's still up there for members if you guys want to go check it out. You can obviously see it. And the Guard weren't in a great place against Chaos Knights. I don't want to spoil the result, but from that you could probably already make an assumption as to, what happened. He didn't have a great time, shall we say, right? He got hit pretty hard. And I was wondering, is this enough of a reason to make people pretty angry at Games Workshop overall? Not because Games Workshop are the devil, because I don't believe that for a moment, but this faction, this release rate they have of codexes means that this faction has waited 2 years plus, near enough, before they even get remotely close to having a book. And if you think about the rumours with 10th edition, thank you, Dave, you legend. If you think about the rumours for 10th edition and the fact that we're probably going to be seeing 10th edition within the next, I reckon, 12 months, maybe 18 months, people are going to get their new book for 9th edition. They're going to have it for a year, and then a new edition's out, and the roll around happens all over again. Now, obviously, there's a chance GW what they could do if they wanted to is when 10th edition launch go, well, Guard players, you had to wait the longest in 9th edition, so now you're going to have to get a new codex earlier, so we don't want you to wait as long as you did previously. Arguably would also piss people off, because at that point they go, well, then my book's only relevant for a single year. So the model range is incredible. I think the model range is amazing. I think what they're doing with the new Ordnance Field Batteries is incredible. I think the new Cadian troops look amazing. I think the new Heavy Weapons team, the whole thing looks great. Again, not sold on the Rough Rider heads. These new Karsakins, incredible models. They're just amazing things everywhere. But, was it not, Gaz? Thank you. But apart from that, they still haven't got their rules yet. Is this a problem? Is this an issue? Now, I know we've seen some leaked rules on the internet, and just to be clear, I won't talk about leaked rules because I don't like talking about leaked rules when leaked rules are leaked like that. I just don't think it's right. However, that aside, they're still waiting. They're still waiting for rules updates. They're still waiting for books. There's a lot of Guard players out there. I love Guard. I've got Guard everywhere in this house, and I don't think they're that feasible. Question I'm asking you guys, really, the community, is, does that really get to you? Is that a massive problem? Is that something that is rage-inducing, or are you kind of, I don't mind? I guess this only really makes a massive difference, or the majority of it makes a difference for competitive players. So competitively, you're going to struggle if your codex is behind. Narratively, if you're playing with friends, I guess you guys can balance it yourselves. However, if you're not playing with friends and you're playing with pickup games, etc., that might be slightly harder to do as well. So the question's out to you people. Is this a reasonable release rate? I guess the question actually is kind of centered around release rates, not specifically Guard. The release rate we've seen means that we are every 2 to 3 months-ish, roughly, getting a new Games Workshop 40k Codex. Now, I've seen two wild sides of this argument, right? The first side is that's brilliant. Not everything comes out at once, which means I can spread out my purchases. It means I'm not pressured into buying everything. Like, it's just nice that everything's spread out and it's a nice, slow drip feed release rate. On the flip side, I've seen plenty of people that have gone, I hate this because my rules are imbalanced and it's not matched against everybody else's codex that's currently already out and updated to 9th edition. And arguably, when you look at things like the squat problem, when you look at Leagues of Votan and the fact that their rules, Games Workshop even said it in their little apology, we play tested this when some of the other books were currently prevalent, and those books have subsequently been toned down. But when this book was playtested, they were not toned down, and that's why there's been a balance discrepancy. And arguably, if they looked at releasing rules in a speedier fashion, they'd have less of those balance discrepancies, right? And just wouldn't be the same disparity, logically, because they'd all be playtested in a relevant time frame. You tell me what you guys think. In the meantime, we're going to have a massive shout out to some absolute heroes already. Dave, thank you for the super chat. You're a legend. Love you dearly. Chat's busy and moving fast. Thank you, Adrian. Hazard Brewing, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. You're an absolute legend, as is Serious H22. Thank you, chaps. You're amazing. Closing on that October members goal. Thank you so much. Also, before we get into chat, before we ask you guys about the Codex release rate, which is kind of what this is mostly about, plus all the new guard models, I do want to know what you guys think about all the new guard models. We haven't spoken about it loads yet because the announcement for the new Cadian box set, etc., came out when I was in the US of A, and then I didn't do a normal talk show. We did the Ask Titans Anything. So I'm curious as to know what you guys think about the new guard stuff. It's got me so excited. Super happy for guard stuff. But in the meantime, you'll notice a new bar on the top of the stream. I was contemplating hiding this bar and not doing it at all, to be quite honest with you. But I thought I'd shut up there anyway, and I'll explain in detail. I've come back with 1,000,001 changes that I want to make, predominantly because of what I experienced the last week. Those guys have really got it dialed in, and they're incredible, amazing people. So I have made a ton of changes already, and I'm working hard on loads and loads and loads more changes in the background. One of those is a push to increase the visual quality of streams in the studio that we use for gaming. And so that requires a new PC build. And there's some options I've selected which future-proofs this as well. A lot of people said make a Kickstarter. I don't like doing that. I don't like doing Kickstarters and stuff. So I'm going to have a chat total up there in the hope that when we hit that total, that's going to generate enough revenue plus spillover, considering this will probably run for a month or so to pick up that PC and put it together, ready to increase the quality. We've already made some changes. I've already bought a couple of parts for it. I'm going to have a parts box for PC parts I'm just going to dump bits into. Well, not dump bits into. We don't look after them. They're expensive, right? But this is all their fault. You can blame them. You might notice, if it's all worked okay, that tonight's is going out in glorious 4K as well. So you might not have noticed. Maybe you have noticed. Maybe it doesn't look any better at all, right? So who knows? Anyway, right. Do you want to see the guys in 4K? You do definitely want to see Joe in 4K. I 100% promise you do. 100% promise you do. Anyway, thank you so much to all of you beautiful people. Thanks, Ben, who's gifted another membership. Thank you, Ben. Who did you snipe? AAA, you sniped. Thanks very much. And hang on, Grim Bloodbeard. What a great name. Welcome as a Scold, you absolute fucking legend. Scold tier gets you access to all of our members-only content. So we've got a number of tiers on the channel. If you click the join button, it will show you all the different options. And you can have a number of... Well, you can pick the one that suits you. If you pick Hasir tier, which is the lowest tier we offer, that just gives you Discord access. We want to make sure that there is still a affordable, easy entry to come and join the community. And then we've got Scald tier, gives you all the members-only content on Tuesday. So members-only stream on Tuesdays. They stay up for members to watch after the fact if they'd like to. And then Jarl tier gives you extra spaces in Discord plus a monthly giveaway, which is currently running. And that monthly giveaway is for a combat patrol box of your choice. Doesn't matter the country that you're in. If you're not in the UK or Europe, so Element, our sponsors, can't ship it to you, then I'll log into Games Workshop in the country of your origin and buy you a voucher of equivalent value for a combat patrol box in your country. Right? That's what we're going to do. Massive, massive thank you. Otherwise, I'm going to take Gaz's job from him. And if you haven't already, you can click that like, subscribe, and bell icon. There you go, Adrian, just for you. Just for you. Look, just for you. Hang on. There he is in chat. I'll tell you what we can do with you. We can give you a blue name. Right, cool. So thank you, everybody. You're all heroes. I think the button worked. And it dinged this time as well. Did you notice? Did you notice? Half a pot, amateur. Yeah, I don't know.
They should release indexes to bring prior edition codexes in line with the current edition, to be superseded by the new codex releases. EA gives SM 2 wounds for parity instead of waiting 2 years.
So that's part of the meme, right? Chris, thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you for the donation. You're a legend. You can see what it's now working towards as well. That's part of the meme. Chaos Space Marines and 2 wounds was part of the meme forever. Now, there was a lot of argument that stated that Chaos Space Marines, although they didn't have 2 wounds, they had 1 wound, they were a lower points cost. So there was still some kind of balance there, right? But I think most Chaos players would have preferred to have the 2 wounds. So I don't... yeah.
Liam, you just did it.
Thank you, Ben. You're a legend. This is the problem I'm talking about with the Guard Codex today. So I don't disagree with what you're saying, Chris, okay? But what I have a problem with is if Guard comes out, let's say Guard comes out December, sake of argument. They said winter, okay, 2022. So let's say Guard comes out December, right? And then let's say, and this is all sake of argument, this isn't based on anything whatsoever. Let's say, for sake of argument, that August is 10th edition. And let's say in 10th edition, they did exactly what you say, Chris, which I'm not against, by the way. I'm not saying this is a bad idea. But let's say they did what you said, and they released indexes at 8th edition, okay? And they reset everything so that people weren't behind with things like wounds, etc. Guard players have then 8 months with their codex before it's invalidated.
How quick is a reasonable amount of time for them to release codexes? Monthly? What about the new models to go with it? How many codexes are there? If we did it all in 18 months, what about the next 18?
So that's an interesting question in itself, Steve, actually. And I don't think I have the answer to it, to be fair. I will do a new members sync at the end of the stream, don't you worry. It's not one that is easy for me to answer, to be completely honest with you, because I don't know the answer. I've thought about this quite a lot. They might be doing the best model. This is part of what I'm getting at, okay? What they're doing might already be the best model, to be honest with you. Like I was just replying to Chris, if they were to release indexes at the start of every edition, they arguably would need to get the codexes out quicker so your codex isn't invalidated within 8 months of receiving it by an index that then arguably gives you less rules, right? So in order to do that, they'd have to get those codexes out quicker. So what can they do? If they have, let's say they do have a 36-month release period and they do 18 months of codexes, what do they do in the second 18 months? Well, there's a number of things they could do. They could release new model kits for factions in the next 18 months. So the first half is codexes, let's just get your rules out there. Second half is new models. So what they could have done, potentially, in month 18 is drop Guard Codex with Attilan Rough Riders in, and then in month 36, they finally get the Attilan Rough Rider models. Okay, so you can make them yourself and kit match them. Don't know if people would like that or hate that. They might despise that, quite frankly. But that's something they could do.
The codexes need to be like battle script, just update on a regular basis and have codexes for people who want more lore. Maybe some stories about the relics, etc. Love the content. Justice for Sword Boy.
Justice for Sword Boy, the indicator. I agree. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Going back to Steve's point, the second half, what they could do, they kind of did this in 8th edition, is they could release campaign books to give you some more. They must make money in books, right? The amount they release. So they could release campaign books. I do like the way they've gone where they're not adding faction-specific rules into campaign books. And I think they went overboard with 8th edition. Campaign books with faction-specific rules do have a place, but they don't want to be released on day one. So if you release Codex 1 in month 1, and then month 19 you release the first campaign-specific book, which gives Codex 1 some additional rules to make it feel fresh again, without going over the top. That's the problem they've had for me, is going over the top, right? Then there is a number of things they potentially could do to release extra rules that way. I guess, maybe. Back to what Dakota was saying, there's another thing you can do, okay? Right? You could, in fact, go digital with rules. Although a lot of people like books, I'm a physical book fan. I like having a book in my hand for rules. I like having a book in my hand for streams. Definitely a physical book fan. But you could go one page rules. You could go one book for rules, one book for narrative, etc. Right? You could do that kind of thing as well. Something else you could do, which would then...
But if they do rules without models, then they leave themselves open to third parties doing models for them. If they don't sell it, then they don't own it.
Correct. That's their big problem. It's a problem they've had for a very long time. So yeah, they could go down the route of a booklet or book of rules that could be not free, but cheaper perhaps, or digital. Problem is a lot of people don't like digital. They could go down to and then a Codex release. I think Winters and I spoke about this before, where a Codex release was more narrative and painting. I mean, quite frankly, I do think they just do battle tomes simply better than Codexes right now, because they've got painting guides in them and all that kind of stuff, which is just a nicer put together book. And then they could go down the route of releasing competitive layered and stuff like that. And there's a way they can make it work, I guess, where I don't feel like they'd be duplicating rules. I think the overall feeling from me personally is I don't know the fix for this. I don't know the answer, but I do know that I love Guard. I've loved Guard forever. I don't mind waiting for the World Eaters book because they've never had one before. So this is a new release. I'm kind of okay with this coming out winter 2022, despite the fact that we're looking like 10th might be next year. But for Guard players, I think this is a bit of a sour taste for people. Like, it's my opinion. I think they could have got rules out quicker. Index resets, I'm not against. So here's what I would do. Right, I'm going to put money where mouth is, and I want to see what you think. But we spoke about some options, one of which is where I would go with it, and this is what I would do. We're assuming 36-month release period again. We're assuming 3-year edition, okay? This is assumption. So you can spread this out depending on how long that edition lasts for, but you're going to get the idea. So let's go 36-month release period. Let's go 18 factions, just for sake of ease for what I'm talking about for timelines. Obviously, test and adjust based on how many factions there are, etc. However, what you do is week 1, day 1, you release your new rulebook and 2 codexes with the new starter box. Fine. That's what I would do straight away. Okay. Now, as long as the edition is similar in style to the previous edition, you can do this. If the edition is wildly different, and I'm thinking 7th to 8th, you would need to index. You'd have to index.
The thing is, regardless of what way they do it, one faction will always end up being last. It just sucks when it's your faction.
Very, very true, Liam. Very, very true. So what you could do then is week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, you're releasing factions. And I would also always release them probably in pairs, quite frankly. That's just what I would do anyway. End of week 18, you've released all your factions and all the rules are tidied. We've also had, at this point, we've had 3 war zones for competitive play at this point, and balanced data slates we would have had 2 or 3 of as well, okay, to keep it narrative and balanced. From week 19 to 36, I'd be looking at how I release interesting campaign stuff that might include armies of renown, potentially. I would, however, probably state that armies of renown are not to be used in competitive play. I'd probably go down that route. They're narrative armies. They're narrative factions. I mean, I would like to see the core fundamentals of 10th edition be very different to 9th anyway, in terms of how you build your army. Not necessarily the core mechanics of the game, because I quite like it overall, but the core fundamentals of how you build your army, I'd like to see that change. Okay, so month 19 onwards, we're going campaign rules, armies of renown, additional fun narrative stuff, additional missions that you can play. We're not touching competitive. That's covered by the Warzone book, so we don't need to touch competitive. Covered by Warzone. This is just narrative stuff. Armies of Renown is narrative stuff. We're not bloating competitive play. It's a way in which you can use that army in that particular narrative scenario with your mates, etc. I also look at a couple of other narrative books that have existed where you don't have to specifically play a faction. You can play any faction, right? And those books, narrative books, are the better ones that they've put out there because it caters to everybody. You don't go, oh, that narrative looks really cool. Oh, I play orcs and they're not in this particular campaign, so I can't do it. Well, that sucks. I liked it when they brought out the game masters in a D&D kind of style where you had someone who led the campaign and every faction could take part in it. That's super cool. The other thing you do, if you go month 1 to 18 codexes, month 19 to 36 campaign books, when you hit month 1 again, you can then index. You can then index. Whether you should or not is debatable, but you can then index because everybody's had at least 18 months with their codex.
Am I alone in liking the Rough Riders, but May with the horse sculpts? It would be fun to put them on ponies instead.
I don't hate the heads, Sminkster. I don't hate them, but I don't love them.
4K.
Thank you, Fraser. You're a legend. I appreciate it. I've also seen, who is it? Christopher's just said, look at the numbers. That's all thanks to Adrian. This is what I'm hoping for every week now. I was like, I'm happy to delay my show by half an hour if you send everyone to me. That's all I care about. And Saints just won as well, Luce.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, Luce is here as well, by the way. Your mic's miles away, mind, so they might not hear you. That's nice. But it's all because of Adrian. So if you are new here and you haven't done so already, you know what to do. Buttons and things. Is it jerky on the screen or is it just when it loads up on this?
No, it looks good over here.
Okay, perfect. Good, okay. My computer's working hard. I put it in 4K.
Everyone's feeling sorry for me right now.
So your voice is in beautiful 4K right now.
Oh.
Makes no difference to your voice.
Oh.
But everyone's feeling sorry for you. Why?
Because of my allotment injury.
Oh my god. Anybody think her leg had been fucking amputated?
Look, I'm not allowed to go on and on and on about my monthlies anymore because apparently it's air quotes boring to listen to.
True, it's true.
So now this is my new thing. I get to moan about all my allotment. I haven't yet put a garden fork through my welly boot yet, so
no,
we're reserving that.
I mean,
one
it
for
sounds
the least convenient.
The way
time.
the last 2 or 3 days have been, it sounds like you might have done that.
I'm like, war veteran over here,
you're
dragging
like
my leg.
You're like a mine victim at the moment. Chat, honestly, it's that bad. Adrian's in chat as well.
It really
If you can say hi to Adrian in chat, he's in there as well. He's got a blue name too.
Oh, is he a member?
No, he's not a member. He doesn't.
Oh.
We're not worth the money.
Oh.
I'm a member of Titans.
That's awkward.
Emperor as well. I still couldn't see my sticker on his fucking shirt. I looked behind his head.
Outrageous.
No sticker.
Well.
When are you moving to the US? Can I join the crew? I mean, I asked her.
Well, you see, there's just a few things about the fact I'd need to drive.
Digital rules all at the same time. Update them as new models come. Physical books later with art, etc. 40k only game system. You wait 3 years for rules.
I don't disagree, but for that to work, they have to actually have a competent digital rules delivery system, which they don't have. It's a mess at the moment, the Codex. So a lot of people keep saying, oh, it's got better. I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing whether it's better than it was or worse. It's definitely got better. But as a rules delivery system, it's still pretty terrible. If you're looking at Joe last night, we said this on stream, playing Astra Militarum, playing Imperial Guard, he's got rules in 3 separate places. There's 2 campaign books in the original Guard Codex. They're all on the app, but they're not put together. They're just all over the place. So trying to find them in the app is pretty messy. It's not put together well. Wahapedia, I shouldn't talk about it, but I do. That Russian website, that puts rules together in a much better way than the GW app does. It does things like stratagems by phase. So I agree. I agree with you, Crypt Shadow, but to do that, they have to have a better delivery system. As you said, Bridge will drive you, Lise.
I do not want to be driven.
So we talked about this, right? I came back from America and was instantly depressed and was like, this sucks.
Oh, thanks.
I've got a shit little garage studio.
I can't believe this. We work really
I've got
hard.
Joe, who often
to be
forgets
where
to
we
breathe because that's the youngest is
being
calling you.
Beckett,
Yeah, I got Joe who
smallest
forgets to breathe sometime because it takes too much brain power just to stand up. I've got awkward Brom who can't read a super chat, right? And then I come back from America with the charismatic, fun, and exciting people in Titans and their gigantic studio. You could fit like 6 of my studios in their studio. It's massive. I was like, hey, we can move to America, Lise. And we were talking, like, she went from a hard no to researching if we could take the dog over there in the space of like 3 hours. So I'm going to call that a win anyway, right? But I did say to her, the one thing that might restrict Lise, because she currently doesn't have a driving license in the UK, is that she would need to learn to drive because everything's just millions of miles away from each other.
Was your trip to the US long enough?
No, quite frankly, Nagel Matthew, 12 months wouldn't be long enough. But thank you for the super chat, you're a hero. So I said she'd need to drive. Right, everything is so far apart that she would probably need to drive because everything's massive. But what I also said was...
But I don't want to drive.
Hang on, I've not finished my sentence. What I also said was there's so much space in the US when you're driving. It's not like the UK, the wacky races that we have on our roads.
It's not necessarily about the type of roads. It's the attitudes of pedestrians crossing the street. They'll just dart out in the street. Some cyclists, some motorcyclists, other drivers.
We'll just put bigger bars on the front of your car, and then they're not a problem anymore. They just get jammed in the bars.
I will just.
Captain Mannering's just put her in a tank.
Put me in a tank. No, I'll still feel anxious that I'll press a button and somehow detonate something.
So what I'm saying is, maybe in the future, I just got to convince her that there is a way. Or we'll just get you a horse.
Oh, do they have the same sort of respect for horses that they can go on the road as we do here?
They don't need to. Mel rides horses. You just ask Mel.
Can she like go to the shop on her horse?
I mean, it's not the Wild West, but maybe.
Oh my God, this might have swung it. If I can horse
Right,
ride.
people, even if you can't do it, just say yes, right? Because once we're over there, okay? John, already on it, mate. I've just left it off nowadays. There's so many beautiful people that gift memberships. I just don't put it on anymore. And if you're going to do what you're going to do, you'll need to pick a new title because we've already... Hang on. Oh, my God. What have I done here? This isn't the right one, is it? So we've already gained 15. I need to add this on now. Watch this. Top quality content, chat. As I do maths live. But thanks for the heads up, man. You're a legend. I just leave it off nowadays, mate, because people like you are lurking in the background, which is incredible. We need to know the answer, Mel, says Captain Mannerings. Where I grew up, I could ride through the drive-throughs, says Mel.
That's incredible. A Big Mac on a horse.
They have drive-through liqueur stores out there. That's amazing.
There's a drive-through bank as well. When we had Ben, we were back at home within I think it was 6 hours with having Ben because we were textbook. And my uncle, who lives in Philadelphia, said, do we have drive-through maternity wards? Because over there, they stay in, I think. They stay in for a few days.
Saul Williams says, yeah, most of the US, you can ride outside of big cities, you can ride a horse anywhere. There you go. Problem solved. Don't worry about a car. We'll just get you on a horse.
We can literally just ride the horse anywhere. So
Yep.
I can be eco-amazing on a horse.
You just have to have a Stetson.
Do you want to meet up at Betty's tea rooms in Harrogate when you're there for afternoon tea and cakes with the boys?
Funny you pop up, Steve, because my dad has fallen in love with the place that's in, is it the book that is Little Women or something? And it's near where you live, so I was going to come and annoy you, actually.
Well, that's what he just offered if you want to go for tea and cakes.
No, Betty's tea room isn't his house.
No, but he's offered if you want to go for tea and cakes because it's near where he lives.
No, it's near where I'm going to be.
Oh, which
not
is near where he
where
lives.
he lives. Why are you trying to elbow in on my holiday?
I'm not elbowing. I don't want to go near your fucking holiday. He's offered you out for tea and cake. The boys aren't coming, Steve. It'll just be loose.
Yeah, just me.
Yeah, we're getting rid of her for a week. Big shout out, John McCardle. You are such a hero. You are what we call an absolute legend. Smashing us through the the goal. I can't say thank you enough, quite frankly. But that does mean that you've put us over the target, and so you need to set the new goal, sir. That's the rules. Whoever smashes us through that target sets the new goal. So we're over target right now. Give us a new goal. I always thought I was being a bit greedy this month with 300, and then look at you lot.
Oh, no.
What's up?
Green Blood Crusade makes a point. Are you sure you can afford her medical bills over there if she gets hurt a lot?
She doesn't go to the doctors, mate. She just gets hurt.
Yeah, I just crack on.
Yeah, I don't let her go out to the doctors. I think if she went to the doctors, she'd come back more injured.
Do you know, actually...
There's sharp things in them hospitals. Can't let her near them.
We have a family member who had their own family member wait 30 hours this week in A&E.
Yeah, everyone...
that
So I had
person's
this conversation
elderly.
Right, slight segue from 40k briefly, people, before we get back up on Codex release schedules. I had this conversation whilst we were in the US as well. And they were like, yeah, but you get the National Health Service. I was like, yeah? Like, that's a prize. And I said to them, right, categorically, because I know a lot of people that work for the NHS, I know they are underfunded, they are overworked, they don't have the support.
Absolutely.
It's not the staff's fault.
No.
I will never blame the wonderful people who work for the NHS. And I also said that in the circumstances where I'm out driving and I get in a car accident and I'm severely injured, you want our NHS, they're amazing.
Yeah.
They're there, they're fast, they get you to hospital, they do incredible. I know a lot of people that have been in some very bad scenarios, and the NHS have done some incredible work to basically keep them alive, right? I've had first-hand friends who have experienced that.
Well, they saved my life, didn't they?
They did save your life at the point in which we had our eldest, right? And that's something that in the US is going to cost you $30,000-$40,000 is just to have a child.
Well, just to have
right?
James would
and
cost
they
that.
saved your life there. So I'm not complaining about the NHS in that regard, but you want routine stuff or you have a problem or an ailment that's not serious, wow. And again, it's not the negligence of staff.
No.
It's not the attitude of staff. Underfunded, overworked, too many people, not enough doctors and beds. So at this point, it's something where if we could afford to, we would consider private healthcare in the UK. So having private healthcare in the US is not too far-fetched for us, quite frankly. Vex is $1,000 just to get the ambulance out. Is that what it is? That's madness. It's a price compared to our system, says Script Shadow. Here we go. here we get to wait in the ER and pay the bill. Going private is such a difference, yeah.
I wonder how many people, so on the reverse of that, I wonder how many people in countries where they don't have a national health service really suffer at home because they just cannot afford to go in and get the care.
Yeah.
So it gets worse and worse and worse, and by the time they do go in, because they can't bear the pain anymore, it's now thousands more than it would have been.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, we're not going to dwell on that. So I'm just saying that isn't a reason for paying for healthcare. Isn't a reason for you not to go over. Quite honestly.
Well, then Gaz has made a point. He's gone, ooh, the dental bills.
I thought,
Ooh, we're British. We have British teeth.
I don't go to the dentist,
no.
So there's no bill there for me, which is fine. You can tell that's why I've got teeth like a fucking drop piano. But I've said it already. I would have just stayed over there if I thought you'd have flown out behind me and packed the house up. Would have been all right?
No.
Where I went private, it's wild. Lots of people talking about private healthcare as well. Where are we? Getting your routine stuff in the States, you'll have to take what the US doc says with a pinch of salt, as they have a vested interest in you paying out more money for medication. Is that true? Is that something? I don't get sick or get hurt, says... how do you say that name? Norcel Lisombre? The diff is the patient pays for everything unless they have... I think your caps lock stuck on me, by the way. Pretty new to the channel. Who's the woman talking? Stevie D, that's my beautiful wife.
Aww.
Who is affectionately known as the B team. So
yes, I am the B team.
On All Talking Heads content, she kept wanting to talk, so we ran a microphone to her desk, and now she talks. And you can hear her rather than hearing this little noise in the background. So it's just so that you can hear her better, right? Because Luce weighs in with some amazing facts about washing babies down sinks and things, right?
Yeah.
And if we are struggling, shall we say? I don't want to use the word desperate.
If the stars have aligned and people are off sick or on holiday, then the B team gets called
If we don't have enough staff for a battle report, and it's just like me and Brom, for example, then Luce comes in as the B team, right?
If you watch a battle report that's just got us three, so you, Brom, and me, if you watch it back, you'll see Brom do little nods and little like gestures to be like, hit the button, Luce, that one. And I'm sort of looking at him like, why are you twitching? Do we need top down? Do you need to go and throw up somewhere? But he's actually gesturing to me of, hit the button, Luce.
He's Stevie T said, Liam is cheating on Bridger. Scandalous. I know, I'm sorry, Bridger. I'm sorry. I'm still here. So what else have we got to talk about? There's a couple of other things to notice, by the way. We got asked how many tickets we'd sold for the Great Hall Gathering! !GHG if you want to get tickets to the Great Hall Gathering. The Great Hall Gathering is happening on the 17th of December at Element Games in Stockport. I'm sorry it's Stockport, but that's where Element Games is based. It is a shithole, but you can get yourself tickets to the Great Hall Gathering. We have sold a few tickets already. There are only, how many remaining? 50?
Yes.
There's only 50 tickets remaining. Okay, so get tickets fast. They're going hot. I don't think they'll be live for very long, but tickets are going pretty quickly. Talking about other things, this is just whilst we wait about talking about the releases again. Talking about other things that have come recently. We had a delivery today, didn't we, Luce?
Yes, we did.
Making a racket over it. We had a delivery today. I just want to say we've beat Titans to selling dice. I've got to update the web store, and we're waiting on a PO box address before we can do that, so that we don't put a website out there that's got my home address on every page. However, look at these. They're in a shiny bag, so you can't see the true matte blackness. You'd have to wait till you get your bags. But if you watch the battle report tomorrow night, if you watch our live stream game tomorrow at 7:30 UK time, you will see the brand new matte black channel dice in play.
Do you want me to get one out so you can show it?
No, it's okay. I could just open this pack. They can wait. They can watch tomorrow's battle report if they want to see it as a matte black dice.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Yeah, you like that, don't you? Yeah.
Okay.
They are, by the way, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
They're so nice. She's done a great job. That's Luce's work, by the way.
It's how I imagine dolphins feel. The dice. The matte.
I don't know if it's a positive selling point or not.
I don't know. It's the first thing that always comes to my mind. The matte black dice. I always think, is this what a dolphin feels like?
Yeah. They are super sexy dice. They look really good. So you'll see them on tomorrow night's stream because we'll go to exclusively using those just so we can market them, basically, just so we can advertise them. Essentially, that's what we're doing. So, right, cool. So back to 40k release schedule because we've just sidetracked there about random stuff and us wanting to move to America. I have to keep just looking at her.
I'm getting emails about the dice.
Really?
Yeah.
Already? Right.
Yeah.
No. They're going to be on a... I've built a Shopify page. They're going to be on the Shopify page, okay? I could probably drop the link in Discord. Possibly. Maybe. But I haven't got the returns address on, and Shopify might get upset with me if I start sending dice out when my returns address is not a real address. Because I've had to also pay for a PO box, because there's too many of you, lovely people, who want to send us stuff, which is amazing. It's beautiful. It's incredible. And I'm very, very grateful for it. However, my home address is my home address, and my children live there. So I'm sure you beautiful people won't mind me saying, I don't really want to give my home address out to a bunch of internet strangers. Because for every lovely person, there's a Joe. And those are just strange people. Just strange people.
Joe's lovely. What did he do the other day? Did he load the dishwasher?
He nearly burnt the kitchen down.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah, he did nearly burn the kitchen down.
Yeah.
It is like having a crash course teenager.
He nearly burnt the kitchen down with an electric oven.
If we can keep Joe alive, then we'll be fine. Our two
I
stumble
often
into
say he's my
teenagehood.
third child. That's what he is.
Well,
That's
no,
what
the
Joe
dog's
is.
the third child.
Oh, he's my fourth child. He sits below the dog in the rankings.
She's the most well-behaved one, and
Yeah,
I can
of
legitimately
course.
put her in a cage if I need a timeout.
Actually beat Titans and selling dice. Love it. I'm sorry, Titans. I'm sorry. I did get the picture of them whilst I was out there. I instantly showed all of them. Like,
Did you?
We've got dice. Just put Joe's address on it. Well, I could do that. Yeah, absolutely. Best choice. Where are we? Right, cool. All PO box. Yes, Vex. There's going to be a PO box so you can send things to us. And the PO box that I've bought will also auto forward onto our home address, so we don't have to go and pick it up and you have to wait a week, which is great. Also means that people can't just randomly book takeaways for us, because that happens in other channels as well, apparently.
Oh.
Plot twist, Joe's only around because Liam's made the mistake of putting his address on the internet before. True.
Did
Oops.
you?
No.
Oh my god.
So you've got to be careful when this is in the room of some of the jokes you choose to make.
Do I count as strange?
Yes. Not even a question, Paul, is it, quite frankly?
We have a strange bond, me, you and Paul, don't we?
Do we? Oh, yeah.
The waitress.
The waitress, yeah. Where are we? Joe turns up next morning. Hi, we're friends now. Yeah, that's exactly what he did. I just checked Spotify and can't find them. Just a song from Final Cut. Not Spotify, Shopify, you cloth-eared twat. With some can-do attitude, you can also put kids in there. Well, probably. I wouldn't want to give my address to me either. I think if my wife could make me forget our address, she would. Brilliant. So what are we saying, people? What are we saying about the 40k reschedule? Because we've wildly derailed. What are we saying about this 40k reschedule? What would you guys do? Give me your best answers on a postcard. On a nice, big, bright, colourful postcard. What's your best answers for how you would solve the 40k release schedule? Think about the humble guardsman. Think about the humble guard player who still doesn't have a codex. He's getting new models potentially. We don't know when. So here's another thing that really fucking grinds my gears. Here's a bit of a moan as well. The first iteration of the guard codex looks like it's going to be in the Cadian army set. Two reasons why that's a problem. That looks like it means it's going to be the same as the Sisters, Orcs, Black Templars, Votan. We'll only have it in a limited army set and you won't be able to get it on general release, which is super annoying. Our events don't allow codexes that are in those boxes until they're on general sale, because it's not fair on everybody else. And you can have an event where two people turn up with an army and different
I'm
codexes.
just coming out of the tube. I heard the word dice. Are there dice?
Much dice.
Much dice. Many dice. Got all these dice. Right, one thing I will quickly say before I carry on about my rant, there are only going to be 45 packs available to start with. We had to put a small order in because it costs a lot of money. So I've got 30 in the studio. No, 60 in the studio for playing with. I've got 40 that I'm saving because you get a single dice and a sticker in every Liam Dempsey branded Artist Opus brush set you buy when they come out, which means there is some remaining. What's that, 100? So there's 900 remaining, so there's 45 packs available. So they are limited right now.
Will we be able to buy dice on the 17th of December?
If you visit the Shopify
Yeah, I
page,
can turn
you
on, for 17th December, I can turn on collect in person for the day.
Okay.
And then it just doesn't calculate shipping costs and you can just pick them up from us on the day. So that would work.
If we have any left.
If we have any left. So I'm thinking about, we've also got him to make us matte white with black symbols. And the matte white ones, which look like they're the only matte white dice in the world at the moment, I'm thinking about placing the order at the start of next month, even though we haven't sold any of these yet, in anticipation that we're going to sell these. It's a bold call.
Yeah.
It's a bold move. Anyway, back to my rant. Those limited edition box sets where it's the first time you get these limited edition codexes, it annoys me because it means that the general public who don't want to buy the limited edition codex, they might not have the money to buy the limited edition box set at 120, 125 pounds, as they typically are, then can't get their hands on that book. There's also people that might have a full army out there like, I don't want all these new models. My army's complete as it is. No one's ever said that in Warhammer. But my army's complete as it is. I just want the book. They can't get their hands on that book. Then you end up with a situation at places like events where two people play guard. One person's got the old book because he didn't buy the new army set. One person's got the new book. I can't have that, so I ban the new book until the new book is available to everybody. That's the first reason why I don't like it. The second reason why I specifically don't like it for guard is because it's a Cadian army set.
So it looks like our indexes aren't books but big FAQs. To bring the books in line with 10th. Thoughts?
That isn't a terrible shout. Essentially a giant FAQ you paste over your codex. That could work. That could work. I kind of like that idea actually, Chris, on the whole. But yeah, so it's a Cadian army set. So at least when the Space Marines have a big Space Marine box set, or Orcs have a big Orc box set, they're kind of generic. Chaos Space Marines, a Chaos Space Marines box set. Votan, they're kind of generic. They're not linked to a specific faction or sub-faction, I should say, within that faction. And for that reason, they're not the worst. I still don't like the fact that they're released at different times. I still believe that they could release the limited edition boxes at the same time they release the standard codex, and they would sell just as many limited edition boxes.
I'd release LOTR just to be a sod.
I like that. I like that attitude, Spazwars. But with this particular one, it's just Cadians. Just Cadians. Which means that if you're a Catachan player, you're just not going to want to pick this box up, but you are going to want the codex. You could be in situations where some people will be buying the army set just for the book, and I feel like that's a feels bad moment. Some people are Valhallans that have converted Kriegers, Joe. Some people, if you look at Mike from VT, full Talon army, probably doesn't want all the new Cadians, I'd guess. Maybe he does. Mordian John from Deployment Zone, full Mordian army, all Mordian Iron Guard, all metal miniatures. Probably doesn't want the plastic Cadians, but will want the new book. And typically we see 2 months between box set release, general codex release. So let's say, for sake of argument, box set release is December 2022 because they said winter, which means some of those might be waiting till end of January, February time before they can get their hands on a general release codex. I think that's really bad. I think that's really bad, personally, right? I'd release codexes much quicker, first 4 months of the edition with a single match play book, and then start running the match play seasons and campaign books on 6-month cycles. Joe Gore like it quite a lot. I'd build it all into Warhammer Plus. Base rules for the armies is released, relics, stratagems, current army, etc. New rules and new models released throughout the year for all armies. Individual updates for everything. I kind of like that, actually. That's not bad. My Rough Riders I carefully converted are no longer valid with the new rules. Glad to see now Rough Riders, but old players keep getting shafted. I always hate it when they move something to Legends that's been a model for ages. I get why they do it legally, but I also hate it as well. Not sure. Gaz, is there something that you could put the dice in to carry to events?
I said your pocket.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to put them in your prison wallet, you can. While having hard copies are nice, it'd be easy to drop all electronics at once and then maybe make the hard copy print to order. Yeah, okay. Why not hit the like button to support the channel? Like this, Gaz. Gaz got upset the other day because he said that my little button had invalidated him. Got upset. He said he thought the little button had invalidated him. Does it work? I want to see if it comes up jittery on the YouTube page. It comes up jittery on OBS, and I don't think it looks as smooth as it could do. As long as it click dings. We like the click ding.
Oh, did you change it to a ding?
Yeah, it clicks and dings at the same time.
Okay.
You've missed it.
No, I haven't. I'm 40 minutes. 40 minutes?
40 minutes behind. Jesus.
Bloody hell. Oh.
What?
I've got something else going on in the background.
Oh
Hold
dear.
on.
Oh dear.
I was wondering why you sound like a much older British man. Oh, I missed it.
Hi Liam, I am starting Death Corps of Krieg Army after I came back from my vacation.
That is the right life choice, Josu. It's the right life choice. All my Krieg tanks have now been base coated. All of my Krieg infantry that I've got built so far are base coated, and I've started putting the blue on the jackets for the second load of guys. I've got the first 5 finished, ready to go. I'm actually enjoying this army a lot right now. And I don't paint, as most of you probably already know. I'm really enjoying this army at the moment, so it's the right life choice. Where are we? It may be a feel bad moment, but people will buy it anyway, so GW does not care. That's one of the problems, John. 100% that's one of the problems, mate. I agree completely. Did John McCardle ever give us a new target for the memberships? I've noticed I haven't updated the target right now. Someone? Did he give us one? Or did I just miss it? If I missed it, then someone just give me a target. I think Yarrick is going to come back in the future with a new sculpt. Yeah, there's a rumour that he's going to Legends, isn't there? I haven't looked at the leak, so I don't know. There's a rumour that he's going to Legends, and that seems to be an odd choice. When you think about all the character models that have been released over the last few years, new Araman, new Abaddon, the Silent King, you know, we've now heard that Angron's coming back, new Gaz. When you look at all these new models that have happened, it seems like a really strange choice to Legends Yarrick. Is that just me? I'm super, like I said to you already, right? I'm super hyped about all the new Guard releases, but a lack of Yarrick makes me sad. I think he did a runner, says Captain Mannerings. I just don't understand why there's no Yarrick. I don't understand. I feel like this is a perfect opportunity for a new Yarrick sculpt that would just look fucking epic. I'd rather a new Yarrick sculpt murdering an orc than that Baynard's Revenge dude that came out, who's a beautiful model, by the way. I'd rather the Yarrick model, a new Yarrick model. I just don't understand their thinking there. Such an iconic 40k character. I love that the Guard Codex relies on inter-regiment cooperation. I want Krieg troops, Cadian elites, and HQ Armageddon vehicles.
Why sell them Krieg to me?
No. I actually like that idea as well, the Draconite. I quite like the idea of a Guard party. I like the idea that now I can collect multiple different regiments and put them all together and still be able to run them. I'm a fan of that. But some people are a fan of just keeping everything uniformed, sorry. So all Cadians or all Krieg or all Mordians. Some people really like that. I actually kind of like the idea of mismatch. I've said this before with Eldar. One of the things I love about the Eldar is because you've got aspect warriors, you can paint different like schemes and stuff, which is quite nice. But, I don't know. Gaz, I think the button's working, by the way. I think it's working. I think people are, in fact, hitting that like button every time I press the button. And, of course,
Did you press it again?
Yeah, pressed it again.
Oh, this time I might hear it.
And, of course, hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already. If you're watching but not listening on chat, if you're not chatting, you won't notice that you have to hit subscribe to chat. You have to do that. Do that for me. Yarrick is like the Clint Eastwood of 40k. Yeah, mark my words, he will be golden on a horse. It's amazing. Hence they're saving new model for the release, says Ben. I didn't catch the first part of that, I'm afraid. Liam, not sure if this is intentional, but why are none of your old 40k shows on Beer and Banter visible on your channel? I've hid them all before previously.
Oh, hang on. Oh, it does ding!
It does, brilliant. I hid them all previously because I didn't do a lot with the production value of the shows, which I'm now slowly ramping up, as you can tell from the YouTube button and the new introduction. And this is all Titan's fault that we're doing all this new stuff. So now I'm also prepping them well in advance. As you would notice, this one was up last night, ready to go, in the hope that a lot of you go, oh, there's a show. I don't have to just wait for Discord to notify me. I'll see it 24 hours-ish in advance. So after this one, I need to see if I can make a thumbnail for tomorrow night's game. And then after that game, I'll make a thumbnail for Friday. And if I can keep this up, it'll be ready all in advance. Then we're leaving it all up. It'll look pretty on the channel. And all the thumbnails are going to look sort of uniformed as well, so it doesn't look messy. I know. Ben, thank you so much for sniping another one. Unger. I don't know if I've said that right. Got sniped. Unger. Welcome. Welcome. There's a lot of grey names, though. So welcome. I'm assuming a lot of you people have come across from Titan, so thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us tonight in our new sort of kind of 40k show that's not that new, but is a little bit new. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Why can't I gift? I'm on Android. You have to build a website, Spaz Wars. If you do it through the app, you can't do it. You have to do it through a website. Subscribers has jumped right up in the last week. Subscribers is all because of, again, all because of Titans. They're amazing. Love it rules-wise, but it looks funny having SS next to Nam Vets next to Redcoats. I mean, that probably wouldn't happen. I agree, and I do not like Yarrick's fate. He is a hero of the Imperium, and the model needs to reflect that. They also need to bring back new characters for the Guard. Yeah, they do need to. I agree. Titans have a sofa, hint, hint.
The problem is, Yarrick was an old man before Second Armageddon War, then the third happened. If they've moved the clock onwards, he may have died of old.
That'd be sad, wouldn't it? I mean, narratively, Paul, probably makes sense in all seriousness, because the clock has moved forward. If you look at the Indomitus campaign, the Cicadrix Maledictum, etc., the narrative has pushed forward. So narratively, it makes sense. It's still sad. Talking about the sofa, I did, when I got home, by the way, look at the corner of my office and be like, we could put a nice little unit, 2 nice chairs, and then have the camera looking at both of us sat there for a talk show instead of this.
But then where would the drum kit go?
That was part of the problem. Where would the drum kit go, people? Where would the drum kit play? Mobile doesn't support it. Yeah, absolutely. The bell sounds like someone dropping a teaspoon in a cup.
It does a bit.
You wanted a bell, you lot. You got a bell, right?
It's a good ding. It's a solid ding.
Eddie's a bigger fucking bell. I think you have to be on a computer. I switched my laptop and it works, says Joel Shout. I think, is that right? Bring back the Vestroyans. Oh, I love Vestroyans. Do what Adrian suggested and get the AI to make the thumbnails. Nothing could go wrong. We saw that thumbnail. Yarrick is really chopped narrow. 100% he is. I've enjoyed both your collabs. Good to be here. Thank you so much for joining us. You're here. Nolim, you're amazing. The Titans just helped point it out. Well, it's not formally ignorant, Soups, right? It's just there's 1,000,001 content creators out there right now, and a lot of them are doing really good work. And so it's a lot harder for us to be heard in the noise nowadays, right? That's just how it is. It is fine. There's lots of people making lots of great content. I'm very, very lucky. There's also lots of people making shit content. But there's tons of people making great content, so it's really hard to be heard in the noise. I'm just really grateful for Titans for shouting about it. I didn't go there for subs, though. I went there just because I wanted to go and see their setup and have fun with them, because they're amazing, right? Where are we? I was hoping, Eddie says he was hoping to be back this month, but unfortunately we're still dealing with a few things at home at the moment. I'm hoping to come back as soon as I'm able, though. He's just doing overtime in the gym, cleaning. I saw you because of TT. That was because you, but it was your vibe that brought me here and kept me as a fan. Thanks, Joel. You're a legend. I appreciate you, man. I have a lot of KD in, so I'm a little apprehensive about getting the new models. Apart from the car skin, I'll be all over them. They are, by the way, I've put 5 together so far. They are beautiful models. The car skins are beautiful models, honestly. Joel says, "Are you a musician?" I'm a music teacher and a lifelong guitar player. Oh no, I'm a bought a drum kit because I wanted to learn, and it's too hard person. I'm honest.
So our 5-year-old is possibly carrying more rhythm than Liam.
Oh, that's not true. I have more rhythm than that. When I actually sit there and practice.
I was going to say, we're yet to see it.
I don't do it when you're here.
Oh, of course. Okay.
That's too embarrassing.
Is that also when you have tea with the unicorn that none of us have seen?
Gifting does not work on mobile folks, Reach, you're right.
Enough guard talk. Need to talk about Dark AdMech. Do we think they will be able to use regular AdMech and set up for renegades?
Right, Ben. I'm going to go out on a limb here once this has come through from Dakota.
Move. BT forever.
Thank you
what?
so much. I got the last part, Black Tablet forever.
Slow move.
Beautiful.
What's that?
It's beautiful. I'm going to go out on a limb here just before the show ends and say, I don't think Dark Mech as an army is coming. I don't think it's coming. I think that you're gonna get maybe 1 or 2 models, maybe something that can be used with Chaos Space Marines. I don't know. I'm just not sold that Dark Mech are coming as an army. I want them to be clear. I want Dark Mech. I want Heretic Guard. I would have taken Dark Mech and Heretic Guard over Votan any day of the week. I would have rather had those in squats. However, I don't think that Dark Mech as a full army will be coming. Personally, if you think about it, right? Think about it logically. They've been building and releasing Votan and squats and designing. They've been doing the same thing for Wild Eaters. There's a raft of, I feel like they don't have. I just don't feel like they don't have the capacity for it. Quite honestly, we're in a golden age of YouTube content. Honestly, especially for our war game, I do agree. There's millions of content creators out there, and they're all amazing. So check them all out, for God's sake.
How do you know there's a drummer at the door? He keeps knocking until the guitarist walks in.
That's shocking, Steady Wreck. That's a shocking joke.
I can't decide if Lutin is scared or sad.
Or scaring.
Yeah.
We're close to Halloween. He might just be saying boo.
Yeah. Might be practicing his trick-or-treating.
I think he's just booing the fact that I said no Dark Mech.
Oh, he's Yeah.
Yeah. Dark Mech Kill Team, maybe. Possibly. I think I learned about Liam from SM Battle Reports, says Cardoff. Well, that was a stroke of luck. They skipped the Renegade Guard and had a great opportunity. They did. I agree. It's Chaos Marine's character, like Mechanical Fabulous Bile making Chaos Robo Shiz. Yeah, that's what I think we're going to get. I think we're going to get some kind of new Chaos Dark Mech type character, potentially. But I don't see there being a full army release right now. I would love to be wrong. I'm hoping I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Do you think I'm wrong? Enough Dark Admech talk. Will Anglon's rules be only his move, wounds, and save? I can't comment. Some Dark Mech units to support running Chaos with lots of demon engines. I mean, a mini Dark Mech release I'd be more positive about. I think that's more likely to happen, but I don't know if we're going to see a full Dark Mech release. I just don't think that's going to happen. And I'm all for more factions in the game, although that itself introduces more balance issues, more Codex release issues, of course, right? October's members goal, 369, says Gaz. Oh, yeah. If it must, you're all children, honestly. You're all children. And we gained another snipe time from Ben as well. There you go. Children, honestly. Any new stuff right now is going into my garage straight to storage. I have way too much in progress. I think every wargamer, if they're honest, has a very large pile of opportunity. Right? I agree. I feel the same about both flavours of Knights, says Carl. Knights. Knights is a tough spot, right? I love Knights. I'm a huge Imperial Knight, Chaos Knight fan. But they make, for some reason, very unpopular content. People don't like watching it. Don't know why. They just don't. Dark Admech League looks crazy. Clearly they need a nerf, says Steve's. Time to go to sleep. See you all next time. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm about to sign off ourselves. We play with little plastic people. Yes, is child. What? Who's the child? Hey? Luton, Spazwell says, Luton, do a sell your crap stream. How about no new armies till Games Workshop get that act together regarding Codex releases? Well, exactly that. Exactly that. I rewatched the first ever chat plays of the day, you versus Brom, Knight versus Quinn. Generally one of the funniest, entertaining streams in all of 40k content. It was amazing, that one, yes. Absolute amazing. Eddie says, I'm packing some serious opportunity. I chose 369 because it was multiple of 3. If Luce chose it, it would have been a sexual thing.
I feel hurt, Gaz, that you'd out me like this.
Wow. I'd love to see a Codex for mutants. Yes. Lost in the Dam. Yes. Yes to all of the things. I just got here. Can you start again? No, but you'll be able to start again in a minute, Ian. I hear that. Going to have more opportunity with Guard. Yes, absolutely. That was peak chat plays. I think it's because it was unintentional. We stumbled across genius. I think we loved it. It was great. It was not something we intended to do, but it was amazing. Right. One last time before we disappear. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit that like. You've subscribed to the channel if you're listening and not chatting away, and you smash that bell notification so that you get notified every single time we go live, because we do go live. I'm basically a one-man band in terms of people that are full-time with the channel, and we go live 5 times a week now. God damn Titans and upping their game to 6. Making me have to work harder, right? Oh my God. So supporting the channel is supremely important to us. The new members, I sincerely appreciate everybody who's gifted memberships tonight and everyone who's chosen to become a member of themselves. You're all amazing. Thank you so much. If you haven't already, ! Discord in chat so that you come and join us in the Great Hall server. It's an incredible place to hang out. Make sure you've linked your YouTube account to your Discord account in the integration section on Discord. There are guides in our server to show you how to do that. So please make sure you do that so you make the most of your gifted subs. People are generous enough to give you subs. Please use them. I think you'll love what you get access to. I think you'll love the Discord server. I think you'll love the members-only content. And if you do love both of them, then please clearly think about keeping your membership next month when it doesn't renew automatically because it was gifted to you. It's supremely important to us that we convert more people who are gifted members into actual full-time regular members. And if you want to, think about upgrading it to the Jarl tier as well. You get access to a monthly giveaway for a Combat Patrol box of your choice. Of course, we've got higher tiers that give you more things, but that's more for people that just want to support the channel at a higher tier. I don't feel like I can ever give those people enough, but if you do go up to the Thane level, you get access to a private WhatsApp chat with me, and if you go up to Acer level, you get access to a free event ticket every single time we run an event at the moment as it stands. If we ended up with 100 aces, we might struggle with maintaining that commitment. However, we need a bigger gaming hall, basically. However, there are still tickets available to the Great Hall Gathering, !GHG, if you want to come and join us in the Great Hall on the 17th of December, whilst we all hang out pre-Christmas and have a little bit of Christmas cheer and say, what a great year, everyone, on to the next one. And we set new targets and we go again in 2023. I'm excited about next year as well. So massive thank you. Huge thank you to the super chatters. Don't forget 10% of our revenue does go towards Mind, mental health charity in the UK. We do that to support them as well. And the rest of it at the moment is going towards this new PC build up here, right? So please help. Otherwise, dice will be on sale soon. Keep an eye out. Hopefully we'll have them linked below the channel at some point, or below the videos at some point in the near future. But before that, we will be launching them on the Shopify page, so watch out for those. I think I've covered it all. Have I covered it all? Have I covered all of it?
I think you have.
Yeah, I've covered almost all of it. Okay? You're all lovely. But it wouldn't be a Wednesday night stream if we didn't end on a fantastic, spurious fact of the week.
Your fingernails grow faster when you are cold. Now, I swear to God, if I go swimming or have a nice bubble bath, my fingernails are longer. So I thought it was when they're wet, they grow. Didn't ever think the cold made them grow faster.
I don't think I have words for that fact. Like, how do you even...
Do you not take a ruler out with you when you go out and about and just measure your fingernails?
This is the big thing. It's not about the fact. It's about the fucking sad bastard who went and worked it out. How? That can't...
I was torn between that and another fact, and I thought all I'm going to do is invite chat to start spamming the chat with words. And I thought, no, because we've got work to do. We need to log off.
We do need to log off. We've got work to do. I've got stream prep to do for tomorrow now, straight after that. So they go fast when you're asleep. Yeah, Happy Kilmore. I knew that one. But...
Well, see, these are spurious facts. It's one fact for each day of the year, but there's only 363 facts.
Yeah. This is the biggest rip-off of a book we've ever had.
And there's so many spelling mistakes.
It's 363 facts, despite the fact that the front page says 365 awesome facts. And one of the false facts is that fact, because it's not 365. And then the first 3 or 4 facts we read were definitely nonsense. I'm not sure who wrote this book, but I think he was on something. Anyway, hope you guys have enjoyed the stream. Please hit that like button. Please make sure you're subscribed if you aren't already. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.